the limit. He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk. To the limit. He'll be there. He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk. To the limit. He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk. To the limit. He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk. To the limit. To the wall. He gave it all for you. He gladly risked it all. Do the walk. Do whatever, come what may. For His love so great for you. He died on Calvary. Right down to the wire. Even through the fire.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to this special edition of Wyatt Live. I was supposed to be on PTO today, but I got the news that Dr. Owens passed away, and I couldn't help but come on and say something because I couldn't go a couple days without saying anything, being today and tomorrow. So I thought I'd come in. I'm tired, but I can never be too tired for realness. I can never be too tired for someone who is genuinely real and had love for not just his people. He had love for everyone. And I just want to say, I didn't know Dr. Owens like I wanted to know him. Like, there's some people that are just so special that you want to be in their space. You know what I'm saying? You just want to know them. You want to study them, you want to know them, you want to be able to steal as much greatness from them as you possibly can. I know that's a horrible word to say, but I've always told you that I don't really get around people that are, like a Dr. Owens, and I don't say a lot. I just watch and listen, and I do steal the greatness. And we in Cincinnati, not just in Cincinnati, but in the whole world, we actually lost an unbelievable person. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, this man accomplished a lot. He accomplished a lot. And you know what? I can honestly tell you that anytime I ever had a conversation with him, and I'm going to share a couple conversations that I had with him. And it was because sometimes when he worked for Hamilton County and he was, he did a lot of work at the morgue and things of that nature. Some of my clients, I would have to get something signed off on showing that they're deceased or something of that nature. And it would direct me to his office. And I would sometimes have conversations with him, and he really shared with me some real information one time that I still say to this day, and it's very relevant to how I come across on Wyatt Live. And he was big on education. He was big on showing people, telling people the truth. He was big on telling you the reason why you're in all this trouble is because of the people you're surrounded by. And he said some of the realest stuff to me. I thought it was one-on-one, but he pump faked me a little bit. It wasn't just for me. Let me put up the chat here. I'm going to share that with you. And I want you guys to chime in. Let me pull this down real fast. We'll get back to that here in a second. Welcome. Thanks for being here with me. I couldn't go without having a few words. I'm not going to be here all night. You can smell the Thanksgiving in the air. Some of you are listening and watching as you cook and do that. Let's just take a moment to recognize who we lost. And I'm going to tell you something. Dr. Owens, like I said, in a conversation we had before, he pump faked me one time by telling me something that I actually thought he was sharing with me, but it wasn't. He didn't keep secrets. So it wasn't that I was trying to keep that he was trying to keep a secret. I didn't see it that way. I seen it like maybe this is a stat that he doesn't really want anyone to get out and he's sharing it with me. But he said, "You know what, brother Wyatt?" Because that's what he would call me. He would say, "You know what, brother Wyatt?" He said, one of the most common things of these brothers these people that are laying on these gurneys and these tables here in the morgue." He said they all have something in common, and it was the lack of education. He said, that's the key of getting us out of these situations and these, where we are today. We got to figure out a way to make people understand the true meaning and the true value of education. And I always had that in my heart to say, you hear me for 2.5 years now, almost 3 years now, push that on Wyatt Live. And I actually learned that. Let me say that I always knew it, but I felt more comfortable saying it in public after I seen and heard Dr. Odell Owens say it in public. He said it to people. He said it on the radio. I think I heard him say it on a podcast before. I've heard him say what he told me years ago. And then I became brave. This is what important men do for your life. They share wisdom, they share knowledge, and it gives you the strength to pass it on. That's what a real man, that's what a real king does. When he gave me the statistics and he said, the 3 guys pardon me, on my table right now all have something in common. Can you think of what it is, Wyatt? I said, they're shot. They all got shot on a Friday night. I mean, what? I didn't know. And he said, they all have no education and they're ripping and running in the streets. And this is a common denominator of the problem that we're having right now. And it does not fit in the everyday talk to talk narratives. That's why I have a problem. That's for the last 3 years. That's why I've been preaching the way I've been speaking, because of the facts that are tied in to the real issues, the real problems. And I'm going to tell you something. I was not the first. Dr. Odell Owens was the first to say it on radio, podcast, wherever you want to find it. He was the first to really give that real statistic. And that's where I got it from. That's exactly where I got that from. So this man will truly be missed. I'd like to do something. I'd like to read something. I'm going to put his picture up again. And I want to read a little bit about this man. Okay. And it's not very long. This isn't a full show. I just want to say this, and then I want to go on to something else. But I want you to hear a little bit about Dr. Owens. Okay. I'll put this up while I read a little bit about him. It's really basic, and it's real short. Trust me. Dr. Owens was raised in the West End of Cincinnati. He attended Oberlin College, Yale University, and Harvard University. He returned to Cincinnati in 1987 as an OB/GYN and led the way for the first vitro fertilization conception for delivery in Cincinnati. In 2004 and again in 2008, Dr. Owens was elected as the Hamilton County, Ohio governor coroner. His goal was to keep kids out of the morgue. That's where I came in. That's when I really got an opportunity to meet him on my way coming up. Is that, when you're dealing with people on the streets, I find them sometimes in my office. I sometimes find them in court, and I sometimes find them in the morgue. And him and I had an opportunity to have several conversations about these young men in the morgue. And it struck a chord with me. For this man to be where I'm from, the West End, I take a lot of pride in that. For this man to value education and value his people the way he did, I take pride in that. And I want to thank him right here on the airwaves. And I want to just give his family my condolences, and the Wyatt Live family. We'll like to give the whole family of the Owens our condolences. I'm not a preacher. I don't do well talking about people once they've passed on, because that's hard to do for somebody like Dr. Odell Owens. And I'll tell you why. Because his body of work can speak for itself. His body of work should be able to speak for itself, and I'm sure it has. I knew he was real about education, not just by what he said, but his actions. When he became, I believe it was the dean of Cincinnati State, that's when he was really going after trying to get some of these guys off the street, offering opportunity, putting opportunity in their face. And that's when I started admiring him even more. So I'd like to just say to you guys, we lost a real good one today. We lost a king. And I want to know who's going to replace this king. Who's going to step up in our community and fill those big shoes, speak real, tell the truth. I know the truth hurts. Stop blaming it on all the other shit, and let's use the major factors. I know people that graduated from Taft High School, Hughes High School, Withrow High School, Woodward, Cincinnati Public School System, and we go on to be great. It's not the school system's fault. It's what you want out of the school. It's what we put into the school. You as an individual, and parents, keep up with your kids' grades. Keep up with their attendance at school. They still do report cards. They still do attendance in school. We can't blame the school system for not putting out a good product. That's not a, we can't fly with that. So before I move on to something else, I just want to say RIP to Dr. Odell Owens. To him and his family, you have my deepest condolences. I'm sure the city will turn out for his viewing, his funeral, and everything else. And I can't imagine the city of Cincinnati won't do something special. And if he don't, why not the leadership of our community? If I need to head it up, please call me. We can get it together. We can do it together. But this man changed a lot of lives. He brought a lot of lives in this world. He comforted a lot of people that were actually here. And he was very relatable. Like, he was very approachable. He was a talk to guy. He might have been short on his words, but he meant what he said, and he said what he meant. And I love to see who's going to replace this king right here to be able to speak the truth, step forward, and keep it 100. Just keep it 100. RIP to the guy. RIP to Dr. Odell Owens. He would be truly missed in the community. I didn't really want to go on the show today, so this is going to be very short and sweet. But I'm here now. Let me see something here. I don't know if you guys heard. I don't know who's all here still, but I'm going to just keep on going for a little while, just for a minute. Who's cooking right now? Anybody cooking for tomorrow? Who was that I seen said that? Somebody said, I don't know why y'all think I'm going to be cooking tonight for tomorrow. Who said that? Are you here? I don't remember who it was. Athea Williams says, happy holidays, everyone. Yeah, happy holidays to you, sister. To everyone, no matter where you are. Happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Marianne. out in Marianne Lou. Owens out in Phoenix. I'm sorry, in Las Vegas, pardon me. Justin Sharp said, I'm helping. You ain't doing shit. Licking the bowl is not helping. Cindy Shields says, happy holidays. Justin Sharp, licking the bowl, brother, is not helping. Nettie Workman, wow. Oh, now Dr. Owens' nonprofit organization, Interact for Health, donated my organization many times. He was a giver. She says, I'm not cooking. Nettie says, I'm not cooking. I'm in Orlando. That must be nice right about now. But it's nice in Cincinnati, actually. But you enjoy. I live about 30 minutes, 45 minutes from Orlando. Valerie Davis says, licking the bowl. That shit don't count. Licking the bowl don't count, Justin. Sabrina Calloway says, I'm always cooking for the holidays, starting some good, screen moved. Holidays, starting some good food tonight. Save me a plate. Y'all know Sabrina Calloway can throw down. I don't know if y'all know that, but damn, if I ever started a restaurant, she'd be one that I'd try to recruit. That's for damn. That's for sure. Standing in that honey baked ham line is enough. I know that line. I went there a couple years ago, bruh. That's what Justin Sharp said. I went through that line a couple years ago, and when I showed up, I said, this can't be the line that I got to get in to get this some shit I already paid for. But yes, it was. It was wrapped around the building. I think COVID or something was going on, so they would only let so many people in. It was horrible. It was horrible. But they have some really good hams. Enjoy, Justin. One of my true brothers that I like to bring up on the show. He's family oriented. We stick together because it's difficult being fathers. Being a father is a difficult job. Quick question. Has anybody heard the tragic news of what's going on in VA, Virginia? Pardon me. Did you hear about the young man, the employee of Walmart? Has anybody heard that story yet? I'm pretty sure you all have heard it. Some. If you haven't, let me give you a fill-in of what's going on. Valerie Davis, yes, a shooting. An employee of Walmart. I think he had been there. He'd been there a few years. Cindy Shields says no. Okay, so I'm gonna fill you in, and then I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. I even have the young man's picture here. It's been released of who he is. I already knew who it was when I heard his first name. Sorry. No offense. I'm just saying. I don't know too many Andres that are white. I don't know too many Andres that are Italian or Asian or Philippine. I don't know too many Andres. All the Andres I ever known in my life were black. Happy holidays to everyone else. Tiffany Daniels was good. Tiffany Daniels, please don't get me started on you today. TD, don't get me started on your ass today, please. We're gonna step into the Thanksgiving and end our. We're gonna go do this holiday thing. I'll get at your ass next week because of what you posted on your page. I don't know. Listen, you prove to me every day, more and more, you prove to me how privileged you are. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that spades game. For the record, let me just say this. I come from a gambling family. I come from a family that they had me at the table gambling on holidays like Thanksgiving and all that shit. We were gambling at the table and I was like 8 years old. I come from that. Yeah, we was playing and they took my money if I lost. They'd give me something for Christmas. Give me, you know how Granny and them give you the little envelope. It got about $5 in it, $10. Well, that was your hustle money. That was your game money. And they'll give your ass a $5 envelope, envelope with $5 in it. You get your money and you sit down at the table. As an 8-year-old, I take my $5 and by the end of me opening up all my envelopes, I had $30, $40, $50 or some shit. And that was my game time money. That was my hustle money at the card table with grown folks, my family. and they would take that shit right back from me if they could. They would take that money back from me if they could. I gave him $5. He can work with it. They took that money from my ass if they could get it. But I was a good card player. So Tiffany Daniels, I've been playing spades since I was in the 3rd grade, sis. It's amazing that you don't know how to play spades. Oh, excuse me. Did I say that out loud? I'm going to get with your ass next week on that, Tiffany Daniels. I'm going to let you have it. Anyway, let's get back. Let's get back to Walmart. This young man, let me see. I might have a photo. There it is. This young man right here, his name is Andre Beam. He shot up Walmart. Now, what's weird about this, he used a handgun. He showed up to work. He was a nighttime supervisor. Been there a few years. Nighttime supervisor at Walmart. He waits for the staff to come into the break room, and he unloads on them. He shoots them. Now, here's the thing. This young man don't even have a criminal record. This young man don't have any reason why you wouldn't hire him. He was obviously smart enough. He was obviously responsible enough to become a Walmart manager, supervisor, evening, nighttime supervisor, 3rd shift supervisor, something of that nature. And he had enough. Now, I had a conversation with a friend of mine before I came on the air, and we were talking about this a little bit. And I was like, there's nothing that I can do on my job that people can take me so far out of my element that I'd lose my life taking their life. The only time you have to worry about me taking somebody's life is in self-defense of me or anyone in my family. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know what tipped the scale for this young man. Maybe he wasn't ready to be a supervisor. Maybe the pressures got on him. Maybe he was on the verge of losing his job. Maybe, just because he didn't have a criminal record don't mean that he didn't do criminal shit. I just got to keep it 100. It don't necessarily mean that. But I don't suspect him to be a criminal. I just think that he got caught up in some emotionals. We still don't know. I don't want to make any type of assumptions of who he is as a person because, of course, I didn't know him. But I will say that until I get the real information, I won't pass judgment on the young man, but I will say who I am and what I would do. I'm not shooting up the break room because I got people that don't pay no attention to me or they just getting on my nerves or they costing me my job. I'm not going to take their lives and then take mine. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. So you wait for the people to come in the break room. This is what the reports are saying now. He waited for individuals to come in the break room. And as they came in, he started opening fire. He killed 6 right away. Another like 4 went to the hospital or 5 or something like that. This kid is 31 years old. I call him a kid because to me, 30 years old is a kid to me. Y'all know I don't mean it literally, but I'm just saying he's a young man. And I don't understand what could tip the scale. He was smart enough to run a department. He was obviously dependable. He was running the department. He had been there some time. What could do that? Let me see. I seen somebody say something about Walmart. Let me see something, what it was. I think it was Arthea. I think she said Walmart's been having a problem like this. Okay, she said Walmart has been having issues for a few years, Wyatt. I have no clue what they are doing to the employees, but Amazon is right behind them. I'm not about to do that, sis. This is once again I'm not going to focus on Walmart. I'm not gonna focus that it's, that's a little too, it's premature to be blaming and you could say that about the post office. People used to say things like the post office people be down there on some crazy shit. No, all jobs have crazy people. I remember coming up and hearing shit like, don't make me go postal. All of that. I mean, all jobs have crazy people. But I'm just being honest. No, I don't know. She says, somebody, Valerie Davis, I'm not disputing. She says slave driver companies. Then why don't you go shoot up the upper managers? Why don't you go shoot up the GMs? I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying that that's what they should do. But those people that you shot up are not your boss. That's not your boss. These are the people that work for you. Y'all work together. It's like the young man that just killed my friend Barry Cobbs' son over at the damn BJ's. Is that a slave driving business over there? They were in the back cooking, and the young man has an episode, and he just stabs the shit out of my friend's son, kills him in cold blood. So do we say BJ's is a slave driving type of individual spot? So yeah, let's blame BJ's. You trying to tell me that person in today's world who works at Walmart and been there that long enough to be a supervisor, can't leave and go to Target? If the job is bad, what, he gonna make less money over at Target? No, he probably gonna make the same amount of money over at Target. I'm not about to excuse behavior. I'm not gonna do it. That's just not on my radar. Stop. I don't want you to think I'm not being understanding. But I'm not first. It's not my first instinct to be blaming companies. Not when there's so many options to go work and do something different. Y'all might not like my take on this, but I'm not going to blame Walmart for somebody's actions. He didn't go shoot up the boss, the supervisor. He didn't go shoot up the people that make the decisions. He shot up staff. They don't have to have my logic. They don't have to have my logic. But my logic is not to be blaming the business. My first blame is the person that pulled the trigger. And that means if they have a mental situation, then let's just call it what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Walmart be tripping. I'm not going to do that. If you don't want to work there, go somewhere else. But before I say it's Walmart, I would definitely say we got some mental illness going on. You can't be in your right mind and do some shit like that. It's impossible. Don't you have something to lose? So if you can't be in your right mind, because the first thing that'll come to my mind is, all right, if I shoot all these people, I'm either going to have to shoot myself, or I'm going to have to shoot, or I'm going to have to go to jail for the rest of my life. So if you're in the right frame of mind, methodically, it would send me in those directions. I'm not going to sit here and debate what's going through somebody's mental. I'm not going to do that. But I sure in the hell ain't sitting here saying it's Walmart. Because he could have, with his credentials, they starving in that industry for managers. All right, let me take this call real fast. Like I said, we on shot clocks tonight, folks. I smell food cooking. So I am going to be here for a short period of time before I call it in tonight. Good evening, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, this is Angela. I can make this super, super quick
Thank you,
about
Angela.
Walmart.
What's good? What's up with Walmart?
Definitely. I don't know if you've heard, I've boycotted them for about 20 years, never worked for them, but I have friends. I have my cousin's wife works in Kentucky, so this is all over. Just Google them. They have like bad employment practices. I don't know what made the man snap, but as a company, their model, and I get it, the capitalism, but how they treat the employees is really, really bad. And based on somebody I knew personally that worked there, I was like, they'll get none of my money. And that was 90s, sometime in the 90s. The last thing I did at Walmart in 2000 something was got a a money order. They have not taken any of my money in years, just based on, and I know it's a small principle, but personally, I know people who have got the raw deal based on Walmart policy.
Like what kind of raw deal? What we talking about?
There's all kinds of things.
Now, just
like,
give us an example. Be specific.
Okay.
Just tell us.
Okay, I'll just give you a couple, like employment things. As far as like wages, promotions, that's one. Working people with outbreaks, putting them in bad situations as far as like a lot of people getting hurt on the job.
Mm-hmm.
They would have people lifting things and doing stuff. They would give you hours and then send you home. So you would maybe work 2 hours after you come to work, pay the babysitter, all this stuff. So they did a lot of things that went back. And I understand Ohio's at will, but some of it was just deliberate to use people and not return the value to the employee. You know what I'm saying? They made you be very expendable, very flexible, and then, you're supposed to be guaranteed 30 hours a week. You might get 12.
Okay.
Who can do that?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me just say this to you, and I'm not trying to defend Walmart, but I got to keep it all the way 100 with you. You didn't just describe Walmart, Angela. You described a lot of companies in this country. Okay, but a lot of companies do that.
Google, I understand that, but most companies don't do it to the degree that Walmart does it. Why would you put in 30 cash registers and never have 30 people scheduled to work?
Well, I think that's the layout of a whole lot of companies. If you think about it, Angela, Kroger's does that. Target does that. Walmart does that. There's a lot of stores that are set up just the way you just described it. Why would they put 30 registers? Show me a big store, Target, all of them. They all do the same thing.
I know you're gonna have Walmart's back, but I'm just telling you.
I don't have Walmart's back. I just want to keep it.
Yes, you do. And I'm trying to make this quick. I gotta go to Thanksgiving service.
Well, I mean,
but yeah,
I really don't, because look, let me say this to you, Angela. I don't really rock.
One more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
That just came up as a thing. There was a case, at least one or two, where there were pregnant women working at Walmart, and they were still putting them on heavy duty stuff and not light duty against their doctor's orders. I think someone might have got fired behind that. Then another person, I think, maybe miscarried their baby. And this is after my friend. So when I tell you it's a lot of stuff, I don't know any job that's making a pregnant woman lift 50, 60, 70 pounds or climb ladders or unload trucks. So now, personally, I don't. I'm sure it happens.
Yeah, I don't know any either. I don't know any either. And then I don't know a pregnant woman that would do it. You see what I'm saying?
You have to stop and think. You say people can go places, but people are desperate. People have been desperate in a lot of situations. Some places, these are the only jobs that are available because Walmart put a lot of places out of business, just how they can, do their operating model.
Well, see, that's what I was going to
if
say
that's
to
the
you,
only
Angela.
job that I can go to, that I can, make work with a daycare situation, or one of these little small towns where maybe they only have 5 employees at a place. Walmart is a place that can mass hire, like Amazon can. And Amazon can expect more also of people. I know people that work at Amazon too, and they get on these picks. They want you to work really, really quick. People get written up for taking like 15 seconds to do something that they think you should do in 4 or 8, because it's very methodical, because it's hitting a bottom line. And I get that as a business owner, but at some point you can't expect people who are the heart of your business and your bottom line. You can't treat people like that. Maybe I'm crazy
No, you're
for
not
thinking
crazy.
there needs to be some reciprocity, but I mean, I get it.
No,
And
no.
I just
Angela,
fuck all of them. Is
let,
how I feel. So.
let me say this to you before you go, sis.
And I'm going to church, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
wash my mouth
yeah,
out real
you
quick
already,
before I.
boy, you're gonna have to do an extra prayer or
Oh,
something.
I'm gargling with the whole bottle.
Yeah, well, let me say this to you before you go, so you won't think that I was necessarily sticking up for Walmart. My argument had nothing to do with Walmart. My argument was the practices that you say that Walmart do. I'm saying there's a lot of companies that do that. I'm also saying to you that floor plan that you just described, there's a lot of companies that had that same format. So I'm not taking up for them. First of all, let me explain to you why I don't really rock.
Were they the first ones? But were they the first ones? Because I think when
No,
he was still open,
no.
when did they come around? 80s, when he started like opening up like really, really quickly, and he had a model and he kept it. So for a while they would utilize them, but then there's a point where it became ineffective. They would not ever have 30 people on schedule to even work.
Well, here's the thing.
Can't, you know what I'm saying? At some point it got to it because they were releasing employees, or just doing whatever. The turnover was super high.
Well, the turnover is high in those industries anyway. I don't care where you work. I mean, that's one of the things that my wife had done. She's done for 20 plus years, is recruiting, not for Walmart, obviously, but I'm just saying,
right. Mm-hmm.
In those retail jobs that are basically entry level jobs, entry level pay jobs, the turnover is unbelievably high. And it's not always because they're treated bad. It's just when you get into certain things, some people only want to work for 2 months, 3 months, and then they want to go collect, and then they want to come back and go, for whatever reasons. You know what I mean? So they have to have a multitude of people to fill in and this and this and that. I'm not defending Walmart. I'm just talking about the situations that come at hand. Here's the problem that I have, though.
But I'm just saying, whatever, if I got the point right, I was back and forth getting ready. So if somebody's point was that Walmart as the employer drove that man crazy, I can see how he might have snapped on something.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If Walmart drove him crazy, it probably came, if it was about Walmart and policy, then go shoot. Excuse me, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to advocate for shooting up your workplace or your boss, but don't shoot your staff. Don't shoot people that.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I think that we got to call it what it really is. We got to call this what it really is. You're dealing with somebody that obviously has some situations going on mentally. And we can say Walmart, we can say whatever.
At the end of the day, growth, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. But let me say this before you go so you'll know where I'm at with Walmart, okay? I personally,
you got Walmart stock. That's what that's all about.
No, I don't. I don't even have that, sis. Let me tell you why. Because Walmart ended one of my business ventures. So I've never been an advocate or a fan. I've always talked bad about Walmart. See, this what I'm talking about has nothing to do with Walmart. What y'all was bringing up about how they treated and all that, my stance wasn't with Walmart. It was, well, what you're saying is the same thing that goes on everywhere. And you don't see people shooting each other at certain places that do the same business practices. So let's call it what it really is. This was an individual that had some issues and he dealt with it wrong, okay, or didn't have some help somewhere down the line. But let me just say this. The reason why I don't rock with Walmart, I do have a little bias against them. And the reason being is because they have been, I called them monsters decades ago. Decades ago, they put all the mom and pop shops out of business.
Yeah.
You can't go buy a bicycle in a normal neighborhood. You remember Huffy and all of them? You couldn't buy, you can't buy anything made in America anymore because Walmart has a monopoly of a bunch of Chinese bullshit. And made in
did like a lot of the car repair shops. So because they did their big automotive, so that I went to school also like down in EKU in Richmond. So I remember in the 80s when they came and there used to be a Sears there. Sears pretty much closed up as soon as they came because they, you know, they just got the garbage stuff. So
they moved everybody out. They put Walmart put Kmart out of business. They just pretty much had this concept, the Walton family, whatever. They had this concept of buying bulk and selling at the lowest price. And the government actually helped them do it. I mean, I know the whole story because I had to figure out why can they sell T-shirts for the price that I'm paying wholesale? How can they make them 25 cents more? And then I had to think about it.
People just buy them and throw them away because they're like, oh, it's cheap enough. So your consumer doesn't even, you know, see the value of having quality when it's like, okay, it's cheap enough. I'll just go buy some more. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is throwaway fashion to them.
And here's the other thing.
Whatever. So food, throwaway fashion. And there you got there.
Can we say this to be fair? Can we say this without even bringing Walmart in what happened in this situation? Is it fair to say that some people on the job was probably messing with this young man a certain kind of way? Is that fair to say?
That could have been possible, but that's
fair to bring to the conversation, all right?
I mean, that's fair to say, but it would also be, to my point, Walmart as a company did not value this man, whatever his level was, to see to his needs. Like they didn't make the extenuating circumstances. To me, this, and I know this is crazy, if you want good employees, you have to have good employee relations, okay? You have to make people comfortable while they're at a job. It's just not transactional. You come in and do this for me. That's pretty much how Walmart operates. They operate.
Yeah, I know. And you know what happens? You know what happens, so, Angela? You know what happens? I agree with you.
How long was that man there? Maybe it was racism. Do we know the races of the people he killed?
I don't know all of the
he could have reported harassment. It could have been sexual harassment, you know, workplace violence, bullying. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a lot of things. And they were like, well, you're a manager. You need to just suck it up.
And that's pretty much why I haven't passed judgment on the young man. But what I won't do is I also won't pass judgment on Walmart because I know how companies they function. A lot of companies function the same way. Now, I'm not saying that Walmart may not be worse than those companies.
I was just going to say they don't take it as far as Walmart because that's the Walmart way. That's their bottom line. When I tell you,
well, you'd be surprised. A lot of these companies don't give a shit.
I would take that, but just based on the stories I've heard, it just, I mean, like as far as Kroger, you won't hear like 40 Kroger stories, or you won't see a potential class action suit.
Well, let me say this to you. And I have to say this to people, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be some black elitist and no shit like that.
You say that, I done got you wrong from jump.
No. I'm about to say something that I think you're gonna agree with because you're a very smart woman, Angela. You really are. You'll be able to see through some of the smoke that I'm about to throw up because I gotta put it up there a certain way, but I gotta be bold with it at the same time. We have to be careful the companies we support. Because Walmart can't do the things that they're doing. If we keep going in supporting them, they can live to their business practices because we're supporting them and spending.
Union or not?
I don't think they are. I really don't think they are.
That might have been like another reason because if it was union, people could have the union could have advocated for those fair work practices. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. You're not gonna
but here's the thing, Angela. I got to be honest. I don't know if the reason why this young man, I'm going to put his picture up. I don't know if the reason why this young man shot up Walmart and the employees in there, I don't know if he shot them up because of work practices. I know that there's probably, look, the young man that killed my buddy's son at BJ's, the restaurant in Tri-County, he stabbed him. He had an episode. They wasn't beefing. They didn't have no problem with one another. But this kid had some type of episode, and I think he was thinking that something was going on, and he just lost it. So he killed the first person. He took a knife that he was using to cut up onions and stuff, and he stabbed this was 2 months ago. And he did it right. I mean, I know a lot of people heard the story, but that's Barry Cobb's son. That's a guy I grew up with. That's his baby boy. And they didn't have no problem, these two men. These two young men didn't have a problem. And it wasn't because of the workforce. It wasn't that. This young man had an episode. He had a mental episode. So before I start blaming, and we all know, look, I got my reasons of not wanting to support Walmart. And some of it has to do with the people that work there and how they're treated. But I also know how the turnover is and how some of the people that go work in them type of outfits, how they treat one another. You know how this is an entry level position, and I don't mean anything bad towards anybody that work at Walmart, Target, or any of that. But if you think about it, as long as we keep on supporting them low ass prices, they can deliver low ass service. They can deliver. Right. They can hire people and not have high expectations. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you lower the bar of the expectations of people that you work with or work around you, it's going to open up the door for nonsense to happen. People fighting. I mean, the same shit happens that come in their door. People, come in there with guns and they shooting. And it's just crazy. It's an environment. And that same environment that walks in, that's the same environment that they will hire. Because they have to keep their prices down, so they're willing to pay little to nothing. And as long as we supporting that, we can't really say nothing. Well, you can because you don't go there.
Right.
So I just say that, we got to look. I've fallen off of Walmart a long time ago, and the reason being is because the damage that they have done to America.
Yeah.
If you go in there, Angela,
and competition.
Yes, if you go in there, everything that they have in there, majority of it is made in China. It's delivered from another country, and that has killed our economics. You know what? You can go in there and buy a microwave so low that when you finish with the microwave in 2 years, you just throw it away and go get another one. What happened to the days of taking something and get it fixed to the brother on the corner in your neighborhood?
Nope.
Those days are gone.
Make it last a year or whatever.
What happened to all the people that work at Kenner's toy store that was manufactured right here in Cincinnati? When the big box clubs came, Walmart and all them, they bought everything over in China and shipped all the Star Wars action figures here from China. They didn't even manufacture them in America anymore. What about the people that had those jobs here? See, we've been supporting this shit. I just never touched it on the show because I don't want people thinking, oh, well, you can afford a polo shirt. Everybody can't buy a polo shirt. They can buy 10 shirts over a polo shirt. But sometimes things are bigger than
the economics of it, because if things were produced here and, it created like a whole ecosystem of supply chain, then you could have like affordable costs, you know, because the markup is always ridiculous. I mean, I know you know that.
Yes.
So markup is super ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, Angela, you got anything else?
Nope. I'm in the car driving. So
all right. Well, you have a good evening tonight. Enjoy your turkey tomorrow. Who cooking?
Oh, who? Huh? My daughter's cooking, I think, ham, but I probably won't eat nothing.
What?
No,
the hell? It's against your religion?
I usually fast a little bit, but I didn't even.
I think that was improper. My bad, sis. That was improper of me to ask. I'm just talking to you like we sitting here, just you and I. My bad. I ain't mean to put it out there like that. But okay, enjoy. Have a great night tonight in church. Put a couple quarters in the plate for your boy, for me. All right.
Oh, your name is going down on the prayer list for real.
Oh, okay.
He needs the holy water, the cloth, and the oil. He needs the trifecta.
Am I that bad, Angela?
Not bad, just in need of some saving.
Oh my God. All right. Goodbye. Talk to you later. I hope everything.
Have a good holiday, everybody.
Have a good evening.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. That's Angela Kinney, y'all. Her phone didn't break up on us. That's good. That's good. All right. So yeah, I knew it was about to go south when she said that shit about I knew you would be on Walmart's side. No, I'm on the side. Look, I'm on the side of getting to the bottom line of the truth. And we don't even know. This is a pure assumption that this man then clocked out, literally lost it while at Walmart. Now we won't say it's Walmart's fault. It's Walmart's fault. I can't open myself to say that. Now, I'm not going to say it can't be their fault, but I'm not going to direct my energy in something like that and I not know. Like, all I'm saying to you is this. If I got a problem with Walmart, then I got to get the Walmart officials. I got to get the people that make the policies and the people that make my life miserable. So I think that might have been what he was doing. I think that he went after the people that was making it tough for him to be at work every day. You went in the break room. He didn't walk through the store and open fire on people that work there. On just anybody and everybody. He specifically wanted the staff because he did it in the break room. He took a handgun into the break room with massive ammunition. He knew what he was doing. This was purpose. This was methodical. He thought it out. He thought it out. And then not only that, he ended up taking his own life. I'm not open to blame Walmart. No matter what stories and lawsuits y'all know about Walmart, that's not on my list. And if it is, it's at the bottom at this point. I haven't heard enough information. He killed 6 on the spot, sent like 4 to the hospital. Before I came on the air, I found out 2 of the 4 have passed away. So now it's 8 dead. Only one of those people that was at the hospital has been released and is okay, is going to make it. But gunshots are a little funny. They different. You okay now. 3 months from now, you might have some complications from that gunshot. So no, I can't blame Walmart yet, y'all. Unless they find a manifest or something and it's saying that, the reason why he did this is because they did him certain ways and this and this and that. I know there's stories. There's stories about people that work at Amazon. There's stories about people that work at Target. There's people that work at Kroger's. This is, I think, to be honest with you, it's up to these companies to just do a better selection of people that work for them. But when you don't have a lot of people that want to come work, you have to settle for certain things. When you're trying to keep a certain price range at a low price, then you got to bring in people that's willing to work for less money. If we, the consumer, cared so much about their employees, if you really care about their employees, then you go to bat for them about, hey, you should up the prices so the people can make more money. Because that's exactly what really killed America. And you being able to negotiate or going in to get specialty items and stuff like that. Walmart put them all out of business. I owned a company that was a specialty shop. I ended up selling it to a bigger conglomerate, and they made big with it in this local malls. Y'all might know them as Hat World. Worked out for me, but I seen it coming. I forecast this ain't going to last much longer. I got to get out of this. I see who's doing what. I can't sell $45 bingo hats and Walmart got them for $9.99. And there's more people on this planet that'll buy a $10 bingo hat than there are a $45 bingo hat. There's more people that'll go in and buy a t-shirt for $2.75, and I'm paying $2.50 wholesale for one. How they making it? How is Walmart able to sell it for a quarter higher than what I'm buying it for wholesale? Oh, let me think about it. They're probably selling that same t-shirt. They're probably sold 7,000 of them today, nationwide. In one day, they probably sold 7,000 of them, so they can make a quarter a t-shirt. I can't pay my rent, my bills, making 25 cents a shirt. I can't do that. And I use t-shirts as an example, just basic. Let me go try to open up a bicycle shop, and let me try to compete with Walmart. Let me go open up an electronics store and sell microwaves and irons and shit like that. I can't compete with Walmart. I'd have been done that stuff. I would have been done that. I would have been opened up the things that I seen as a child as being something. I would have been invested in something like that. But I can't compete with a big conglomerate like that that has 4 stores near you. I can't. But everybody bought it. Everybody went into Walmart going in to save $1. Going in there. How am I open up some? Look at all the TV shops that we used to have in Cincinnati. Remember? Steinberg's, LA Sound, all these big stores that we thought were stores, that we thought were good stores. You buy a flat screen TV and all that there. Walmart put them all out of business. Because now you can go get a 50-inch TV for $255. I guarantee you, if I opened up a TV store right now, an electronics store, I would probably have to pay $300 for a 50-inch flat screen wholesale, and I'd probably have to buy 30 of them to get it at that price. Well, Walmart's going to pay $200 for it. There you go, Stephen Speed. Absolutely. Crystal Powell, you're right. H.H. Craig, all that. Threw them all out of business. They didn't have the same buying power. I've never been a fan of Walmart. Sometimes I say things like today. Sometimes, pardon me, I say things and people take it out of context. I got to bring this up. I don't know if y'all know, I did a post today. And I did I want to find it. I did a post today, and I said on the post, I should have posted up here. I should have, but I didn't. On Wyatt Live Vibe, I said, we are born looking like our mothers, but we die looking like our choices. That didn't sit too well with a few people. Anybody that knows me personally, and if you know me from Wyatt Live, even if we never met, you know my heart is my heart is right here, and it's on my sleeve sometimes. I would never say something like that to be disrespectful. I'm going to close because I'm getting out of here. I would never say something like that to be disrespectful. Let me explain what I mean. I know some people who have lost their children to random gun violence, nonsense violence. I'm not talking to you. I know some people who have had their children taken away from them, and their children were totally innocent. I'm not talking to you. And I'm saying this respectfully. You know me better than that. That's why I didn't hear anything from somebody like Miss James. She know the love I have for her losing her grandson in Dollar General, randomly getting shot. That ain't meant for her. He didn't make the choices that led him to be killed. If you want to call going into a Dollar General like what we all do, we all go in the stores. If you want to call that, if you think that's what I'm referencing that, you're ridiculous. You got to know me to understand my quotes. I know some people that I've known for a long time, and they lost their son and don't know how it happened, out of town or whatever. They find out their child is dead. This has nothing to do with you guys. I got love for those situations. You know, I've said it. I talked to you about it. My comment, don't take what I say out of content, and everything I say, it just ain't meant for you. It's not meant for you. It's meant to where I'm at in my mind right now. So when I say we are born looking like our mothers, but we die looking like our choices, it's so crazy, because that is exactly what Dr. Odell Owens, him and I was talking about. Did I know he passed? I didn't even know he passed when I put that out. God works in mysterious ways. I promise you that. What I'm talking about are the people I'm talking about are the people that's ripping and running these streets and making things tough out here for people. Making it tough out here for your mamas and your daddies. These are the people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about innocent victims. They made no bad choice. How could you look at what I'm saying in this post? How could you think that that's in a derogatory way towards innocent people? This is for my people who know what they're doing is wrong. This is for the young man that got smacked in his mouth on IG or Facebook, wherever it was, on the internet. This is for them type of people. You was born looking like your daddy, born looking like your mama, but you're going to die looking like the choices you make in life. And what I mean by that is, if you want to get on the Instagram and pose with guns, pose with drugs, then you going down. Those are bad choices, young man. If you want to drop out of school in the 9th grade or 10th grade, those are bad choices. These are the people that Dr. Odell Owens was talking about. So please don't take what I say out of content. Everything I say ain't meant for you. It's not meant for certain. Listen, come on, man. Don't. And I mean that respectfully. I'm hurt that you would even think that I would say some shit. I know you lost your child. That wasn't for you. I can name 10 mothers that watch Wyatt Live regularly, and they lost their children. They know I'm not talking to them. They know that was not meant for them. Well, 7. Because I can tell you 3 of them right now would say amen to that comment, because they did lose their sons because of the choices that they made. So I'm not going to fall off my circle on that statement. It may not have been meant for you. Before I get out of here, I just want to say once again, shout out to Dr. Odell Owens. He would be truly missed. I need to know who's going to replace that powerful voice, who's going to replace that truth, because all of us can't do it. All of us can't say what he say. All of us can't say the things that he was saying to us and keep the radio quiet. Because I heard him say some shit and nobody challenged it. Nobody came behind him and was like, that ain't what happens. It be those people over there. Nobody challenged it. How you gonna challenge a man with those credentials and who's sitting there working on bodies and can look at the report of the person who's laying on the gurney dead? How you gonna recute? How you gonna challenge what he say? Well, damn it, I've been saying it for 2.5 years now. But when I say it, I get challenged. I'm okay with that. If I wasn't okay with it, I would have been gone. I'd have been stopped doing this. But somebody tell me when I say shit like this, somebody come on here and prove me wrong. I heard on the radio the other day, damn, this might get long. I heard on the radio the other day, I should have did a show yesterday. I just didn't feel like it. I was tired. I'm under the weather. I heard on the radio the day before yesterday, they were talking about something that we've been talking about forever. And I heard ladies calling into the radio station talking about some, I get tired of hearing people talk about women can't raise boys. Call me and tell me women can raise men. Because you're right. You've proven that you can raise boys. I am one of them. 14-year-old mama. But my mama didn't teach me how to be a man. You missing it. Y'all are absolutely freaking missing it. You're absolutely missing my whole point and what needs to be talked about. You can argue and fight and get offended and be all nasty and mad because when somebody tell you something, you just don't get it. You don't understand what's being said. Selective hearing is what you have. You think we're trying to be disrespectful for your efforts. I could tell my mama to her face as a grown-ass man that I am today, thank you for raising me. But you didn't teach me how to be a man. And how could you expect your mother to teach you how to be a man? It takes a man to do that. And first, she has to have a man in her life. And she has to have a real man. She can't have two children. She can't have me and then a man that she's kicking it with, and he's just as much of a child as I am mentally. He's smarter than me. He's bigger than me. He's older than me. But he had the same selfish behavior as a child. She raising both of us. So how is he going to teach me how to be a man? And you know what she's going to teach me how to do? She's going to teach me how to find somebody just like her. My mother going to teach me how to find somebody just like her. And if she by herself, chances are I'm going to find me somebody by themselves. And she going to stay by herself. Because I've learned to be okay with women being by themselves. I know. There's exceptions to all rules. There's exceptions to all rules. You will sometimes have a man that was raised in a single house with his mama, brothers, and all this, sisters. And you'll occasionally you'll see one of them get married. Happens. I'm a product of it. If you do a study, and I want y'all to look it up, do it on your own. I ain't doing nobody's homework. Most people who are married in America are married because they come from married homes. Most men that end up marrying a sweetheart, high school sweetheart, their college grad sweetheart, their work sweetheart, or whatever, most men that marry women come from homes where they had a mother and a father. That's a fact. That's not putting anybody down. We have to set the example. My mother didn't teach me that. I learned it at a late age. Look at all the smart men in America that look like us, look like me. They all family oriented because they understand family keep you grounded. There's a lesson in being a man of the house. Keeps you grounded, keeps you honest with things. When people look at you as a leader, you have a lot more respect for yourself and you respect other people. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I can understand why some ladies would come on and say, we've been raising these boys. We've been raising these men. And there's always going to be an exception to the rule. There's always going to be some lady that raised a son, and he going to be respectful. He going to be this and he going to be that. And he going to find him a woman and he going to marry her. That happens to people that are good and bad. Abusers marry people. Alcoholics marry people. I'm talking about in the relationship. But the truth of the matter is, most mothers that are married to a man, chances are your son will marry a woman. I don't need you to believe me. You can just look it up yourself. Most women that raise sons on their own end up with a man that don't. He will get married one day, maybe. Maybe. Let me say something. I got people that I know that's been dating the same woman for 30 years. What the fuck is that? Y'all been kicking it for 30 years. Boyfriend and girlfriend for 30 years. I ain't insulting anyone. I'm just telling you. It's an accepted behavior. And then we'll have kids. Why do you think your daughter gonna get married or your son gonna get married when y'all didn't get married? It's an accepted behavior. I know y'all ain't gonna like me on this one because I'm going into Thanksgiving. I got a lot of time to lick my wounds after the people dog me and say what they want to say, but that's okay. Been called a lot in my life. If it take me and Dr. Odell Owens and us type of people, real men, to step up and say what need to be said, damn it, just keep on hating me. Just keep listening though. The ones that tune out and don't want to be bothered with it, they'll continue to do what the normal trend is. Let's see how that shit work out. Look at the last 40, 50 years, how that shit been working out for us. You got to understand, Valerie Davis is more than just a piece of paper. You're not making a commitment on pieces of paper. You're making a commitment with God. You ever thought of that one? A marriage is held basically by a priest or a pastor or something of that nature because you're representing your unionship with God, right? Some people like to go have their weddings at the beach. Some like to have it in the church. No matter where you get your wedding, no matter where it is, it has to be in the presence of someone that represents the cloth. Marriage is not a piece of paper. It's an understanding between a man and a woman and God. And that would make people think a little bit different in their relationship with one another too, when you include God. So, and sometimes it's more about doing the right thing so people behind you will do the right thing. And I don't know a parent on Wyatt Live. I don't know. And maybe I don't know you well. I don't know a parent on Wyatt Live that don't want to see their children do better than them. I don't know a parent on this platform that don't want to see their kid go off to the military, go get an education, just be better than me. If you that parent, please leave. This is not for you. We don't even want you here. If you jealous of your own child and don't want to see them do any better than you, or at least they can hit where you are so they can't tell you shit. We don't rock with people like that over here. But I know better. I know better. Most of the parents here, majority, I would say all of the parents here want to see their kids do better than they're doing. I've said it on the air. If my kids, hey, I'm spending a lot of money. I've invested a lot. I've invested in my children since the day I brought little Randy home. I've invested in her. Y'all gonna think this is corny, but it's the truth. The day that I brought her home, I did what they did in Roots. It was so corny, but I did it. I took her out in the backyard and I held her to the sky. I promise you, I swear on my grandmother's grave, I held her to the sky. And I told God that I was going to do everything in this world for this child right here. And please help me. Help me do what I need to do to make this a productive person in this world. I did it with my youngest daughter as well. That's just me. Hey, listen, before I get out, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I wish everybody love and respect. And please don't eat too much tomorrow, because if you eat too much, it's going to catch up with you. And unless you're willing to come out here and run some miles with me, it's going to stick on you. Peace and love to everybody, man. This is Wyatt. I appreciate you coming in for this little hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. Shout out to Dr. Owens. Condolences to his family. Peace and love to everybody. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll send a post out of what we're talking about. Tracy Dillingham says, I got 2 more PTO days left. Today, this only counted for a half of a day. Peace and love to everybody, man. Much love. Thank you for being here for this short Wyatt Live.